Hey guys, it's the Drag Detective, and I am back to solve the case of who is the winner of one of the most contested challenges in all of Drag Race history, the Monster Ball from Season 11, Episode 5. Now, Drag Race has always had balls throughout every single season, but Drag Race did something different with it finally in Season 10 by putting it at the beginning of the season rather than at the end, which gives way more queens a chance to show off some of the looks that they brought. And it was an amazing ball. It was the I think it was the last day on Earth ball, and it was all about climate change and aliens and the end of the world. And Aquaria absolutely smashed it. All three of her looks were iconic and incredible, and it was just very clear that she was the winner of that challenge. So they do it again at the beginning of the season, Season 11, and there's a lot to live up to because I think that the Season 10 ball is one of the best, if not the best ball in Drag Race history. So they have the new idea, which is the Halloween ball, and on paper it sounded great. I was really excited. The looks were not anywhere near as good as the year prior or even in previous balls, but Brooke is given the win. Ariel Versace and Sugarcane lip sync in the bottom two, and the fans went kind of nuts. They were like, Brooke doesn't deserve to be the winner, Evie doesn't deserve to be high, Evie doesn't deserve to be in the top. To this day, fans still argue about who should have won this challenge, who should have lip-synced, who should have been in the top. So I'm going to try and figure it out myself. So I'm going to try and go through each queen, go through her looks, and give each of them a rating out of 5. And I'm going to base that off of, does it fit the runway theme? Is it a nicely made garment? Does it look nice on the queen? Did she style it well? Just as objectively as I can look at these looks. And at the end, we'll see who had the best overall score from the three looks. So the three runway looks that we have for this ball are Trampy Trick or Treater, which I see as like Mean Girls, I'm a Mouse, like just random things that are made sexual for Halloween. And then Witch Please is the second one, which is just like a witch look. And then the last is one that they had to make using... Okay, so let's start off with Akuria C. Davenport. These are the three looks that she gave. Now, Trampy Trick or Treater, this is one of my favorite looks of the night. Like, of the entire ball, this is one of my favorite looks. What I'm going to say is, I don't see Trampy Trick or Treater. I don't see this as a Halloween costume, which is like what it's meant to be. It's supposed to be like going out to a party on Halloween with your friends, looking slutty. I don't really see... I think this is just something that she had, and she wore it. Like, Poker Dealer is not a Halloween costume that I normally would see, out and about on Halloween night. Maybe she decided to do that on purpose. Like, maybe she's like, what's a costume that isn't normally seen on Halloween, but that I can make trampy? I don't see a trick-or-treater Halloween costume in this at all, but I do think it is a great look. So I'm teetering 3 or 4. I'm thinking I'm gonna give it a 4 because it is really nicely done. It's nicely tailored. It's nicely fit. I like all the props that she has, but it doesn't get a 5 because it does not really give me trampy trick or treater. It just gives me trampy poker dealer. Okay, now her Witch Please look. I hate this. I think this is really not a good look. I think it looks really cheap. And I honestly remember, I thought this was the MILF look. I thought this was the MILF eleganza that she made in the workroom. Because it looks like she just made it in the workroom with like some random stuff that was given to her. The material for the skirt, it just looks cheap. It's like a cheap sequin fabric. I don't really like... Nothing about this says witch. Nothing about this says witch. At all. There's a bat on her shoulder. Cool. I'm not getting witch. And I think it looks cheap. I'm going to give it a 2. Her MILF eleganza, this looks like a better made garment than the witch look, but this is the garment that she made in like one day. So I'm a little shook by that. Monster, I'd like to freak. Does it fit the theme? I think, yeah. She's supposed to be like a spider queen or like a spider or whatever, but it's also kind of sexy, showing some cleavage. It's, cinched. I don't really know what's happening is that a spider on her hip? It gets kind of messy towards the middle. Like, I think there's, like, I don't think she needed that spider or whatever that is on her hip. But for making this in a day, I think that's a really nicely made garment. Also, I think that's Angie's wig from when she walked into the workroom. I think so. I'm going to give this a 4. 5? No. 5 is like a really, really, really good look. This is just like a really good look that fits the theme. So I'm going to give it a 4. Okay, so Akira gets 10 points out of 15. Now, Ariel Versace, she was in the bottom for this challenge. Let's see if I would still put her in the bottom based on what I feel. Now, Trampy Trick-or-Treater, this is another, just like Akira's, this is a great look. Like, this is an amazing look. I would give this look a 5 if it fit the theme. But I feel like this fits the theme even less than Akira's fits the theme. I don't see Trampy Trick-or-Treater at all. It's not very trampy. I mean, I guess she's going for, like, nurse. Like, and I see, like, slutty nurse costumes. I mean, really, all she had to do was take out the bottom mermaid skirt thing. Like, if she took that out and she just had that super short dress with the little, red tulle coming out from underneath, this would be a 5. This would be, like, a 5. Perfect. I get the nurse, like, sexy nurse. I get the sex. I get everything. But because of that fabric at the bottom, I'm going to have to give it I can't give this look a 3. This is a great look. It just does not fit the theme. I'm going to give it a 4. Now, this Witch Please look, I'm not getting witch, really. I mean, I like this look a lot. I love the hair. I love the feather. I like the boots. I don't know how this goes into witch. Like, nothing says witch except that it's a black dress. But it's still a really good look. So I'm going to give it a 4. But it doesn't fit the theme. Like, it's like a loose interpretation of the theme. It's a good look. It's just not witch. Maybe I'm just being really picky. Do you guys see witch in this? I don't see witch. I just see, like, e-girl. Like, goth e-girl. I don't know. I'll still give it a 4. Maybe a 3. Am I nuts for giving it a 4? I'm going to give it a 3. Because it's not, like, blowing me away. And it also doesn't fit the theme. Now, MILF. She's going for, like, Laguna Blue Monster High, which fits her brand because she's like a Bratz doll. It's not badly made. It's really not, like, badly made at all. I can't remember what the critiques were for this, like, why they didn't like it. I probably should have gone back and watched that, but I'm just going to go based off what I'm thinking looking at these looks. It's not badly made. It's not, like, wonderfully made, but it's not badly made. I like the bow in her hair. I like her blue lips. I like the shoes. It's more monster than, like, some of the other looks. I'm going to give this a solid 3. It's not blowing me away, but I think it's not terrible. Ariel gets 9 points out of 15. Okay, now we have Brooklyn Heights, who was the winner of this challenge. Her Trampy Trick-or-Treater, I know people, like, live for this because she was, like, walking on point, but, like, legitimately it's just, like, white fabric just wrapped around her body. I get, like, the thing of, like, the ballet shoes have the straps, and those straps kind of go into the straps of, like, the mummy, toilet paper bandages, whatever. I do get Trampy Trick-or-Treater, though, like a mummy, like, sexy mummy. I'm going to give it a 4. I would give it, honestly, lower, but I'm going to say that I'm in the wrong because I know everybody loves this look. Like, everyone lives for this, and I don't. So I'm just going to say I'm in the wrong, like, I have the wrong opinion here, and I'll give it a 4 instead of a 3. Now, this Witch Please look, I really like this. I think this is the strongest look that Brooke brought to this ball. She has the really cool skull on her head. It's very Enchantress from Suicide Squad. I'm going to give this look a 5 because it's really nice. There's a lot of detail. It fits the theme. I see witch. I see, like, voodoo witch, which is, like, not just a basic interpretation of the runway. She's going, okay, what kind of subgenre of witch can I take that will set myself apart? So this voodoo witch, I love. It's a 5. Now, her MILF, like, okay, I get that she made this in a day. It's nicely made, I guess. It's not, like, wonderfully made. And if she didn't have that snake around her neck, this would just be, like, a black dress. So, like, what is the monster? She's a monster that you'd want to freak. What's the monster? Snake Queen? I don't think this fits. I don't think it's all that great. I'm going to give it a 3. Brooke gets 12 points from me out of 15. Okay, now we have Nina West. I love Nina. All 3 of these looks, I love. Let's start out with a Trampy Trick-or-Treater. This one I think is the weakest because I don't think it fits the theme. I mean, she's doing a Little Shop of Horrors look, and it's a nicely done look. It's campy. I love it. It's very Nina West. Her body's cinched. She looks great. Her proportions are great. I like the hair with it. I'm going to give it a 4 because it doesn't really fit the theme. Like, this isn't like a costume you would wear on Halloween, really. But I think it's a really strong look. So it gets a 4. Now, the witch look, I'm going to give this a 4 too. Not because I want to give it a 5, but like, it's not, just because I personally love this look, it's not doing anything like crazy. Like, I'm not like, whoa, look at all the detail. Like, look at all the, it's really just a black dress with some flames on it. Again, like Brooke, she went in a different direction than just typical witch. She went like the Crucible, like the Salem witches burned at the stake, which I loved, and no one else did anything like this, so I'm giving it a 4 too. Now, her MILF Eleganza, she has like a thing on her, like a mask or whatever that she takes off, and I don't know if she made that mask. I don't know if they like had those available, but I thought that was really cool. And then underneath it, she has this like bleeding, disgusting mouth. Now, I'm kind of getting Hocus Pocus, like Winnie Sanderson from the bottom, like the actual dress itself. Nina obviously can't sew very well because she was in the bottom twice for design challenges. I think she got away with it because it's like Halloween and she can just rip it up and make it look a little like messed up. I'm going to give this a 4 too. I really like this look. I like the wig with it. I like all 3 of her looks. Nina West has a final score of 12 out of 15. So far she's in the lead with Brooke for the most points. Okay, now we have Plastique Tiara, who placed in the top for this episode. Now, Trippy Trick-or-Treater. Here's where I see, like, she's getting ahead because she's thin and skinny. Like, she has the advantage, because this is, like, so basic. Like, this is really basic. She didn't add anything to the costume to make it her own. This is literally a costume you would buy in Spirit Halloween for, like, $20. It is just a pink corseted bodysuit with no embellishments, no nothing, and some like clasped like collar things. I wish it were rhinestone. I wish it were, and those bunny ears look cheap. This looks cheap. This looks really, really cheap. But it does fit the theme. It's like house bunny. It's whatever. I like the wig with it. I don't know. I just feel like it's basic as hell. She could have done stuff to like amp this look up, and she instead looks basic. But people, again, they go nuts for this look, so maybe I'm in the wrong. I'm giving it a 3 because it's basic as fuck. Now, Witch Please, she went for a different kind of witch, Maleficent. I'm not like obsessed. I'm not gagging. This is like it's a pretty good look, but again, it's kind of basic. Like, the headpiece is really nice, and then you get to the bottom and it's just a black corset with some tulle fabric. I guess I do like the bust area, like the neck piece, and then whatever kind of bodysuit she has underneath. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's fine. It's nice. I think I'm just bored. Plastique just bores me. Okay, MILF Eleganza. I think she's like a skull queen, a corpse, a zombie. I like this. This is her strongest look. The dress is really nicely made. I like how the fabric drapes. I like the little things on her shoulders. I think the sickle was a nice piece. The thing in her hair. The face makeup really sells it. I think I would have given this a 4 or even a 3 if it didn't have the face makeup. But the face makeup really sells the look. I'm going to give it a 5. This is a really nicely done look. And that's funny that the one that she made in a day in the workroom with some like $5 mood fabric from the wall looks way more expensive and way nicer than the 2 looks that she spent money on and, you know, had ahead of time. That's just funny to me. So Plastique gets 12 points. Okay, Raja O'Hara. Now, Trampy Trick-or-Treater, she's like a sexy Catwoman. And this, to me, looks like legitimately someone at a Halloween party. This is giving me Halloween party, like, realness. When they say realness, this is giving realness. I know so many people who would wear this exact thing to a college Halloween party. The fur, she has little claws on her gloves. This is a 4. Now, Witch Please, she is, obviously, I've never seen Wicked. I don't know what the character's name is, but I know this is from Wicked. I love her hair. I think her makeup looks really nice here. She looks great in green. I love green and purple as a color combination. I like the I'm going to give this a 4 too. And then for this MILF Eleganza, she's getting a 5 because the bitch made pants. The bitch made the top. She changed up her makeup. She looks great. This is a great look. So she gets a 5. So Raja gets 13 points. Okay, now we have Scarlet Envy. I think Scarlet did so well this week. Okay, so Trampy Trick-or-Treater, this is great. This is, like, my favorite because this is, she, again, like Raja, she's giving realness. This is a college girl at a frat house on Halloween night looking to get some dick and doing a sexy little pirate. Nothing looks expensive, really, but, like, she still looks good in it. Like, I feel like she's just selling it. I'm going to give this look a 4 because I love it. I think the eye patch, the hat, really good. And it's very, like, nothing really says, like, pirate, but she accessorized it so that it is a pirate. And that's what you do on Halloween. You buy a bunch of random stuff and throw it together to make what you're kind of going to go for. So, Scarlet, I think, got an A+ for the Trampy Trick-or-Treater, 4 out of 5. Witch Please, this is getting a 5. This is so getting a 5. This is, like, Misty Day, Coven, Roanoke, American Horror Story. She put on the fake nose. This is my favorite witch look. I love this so much. No one else did anything like this. She stood out so much in this specific runway. That is getting a 5. Now, MILF, I'm really gonna... I want to give this a 5 so badly. But I know that I would get, like, roast to a crisp. It's not well made. I'm just gonna say now, this is not well made. Neither was Nina's, and I gave Nina a pass because it's Halloween. It's not, like, terribly made. I mean, she looks great in it. It's like Creature from the Black Lagoon, but, like, you're watching the movie on acid. I'm gonna give it a 4. Please don't kill me. I love this look. It is so crazy, and, like, I mean, it's MILF, a monster you like to freak. She looks like a monster, and her boobs and her ass look huge, so, like, what more do you want? I wish she would have cinched a little more. I don't think doesn't really look like she's wearing a corset. I think this is hilarious. It's campy, it's fun, and it fits the theme, because it's literally a monster. Like, she is a monster, but she's looking a freak, so are you gonna freak? I would freak. You gonna freak? So, Scarlet gets 13 points. Okay, now, Sugarcane, she was in the bottom, and I can't even... What the fuck is she wearing? What the fuck is she... Okay, Trampy Trick-or-Treater, this is a 1. This is a 1. This is horrific. This is one of the worst looks I have ever seen on Drag Race. The bodysuit, this blue bodysuit, is wrinkly, it is rumpled, it is rippled, it is crispy. It doesn't fit her, like, at all. Like, it's way too big. It makes her look big. I don't mind the, like, bra and panty, like, Vegas showgirl thing going on. But the makeup, I guess, I don't know. The makeup's weird just because it doesn't blend into the bodysuit. She should have done blue. She should have done, like, instead of, she goes purple, she should have just done blue so that it matched the bodysuit that she's wearing. But, and then this wig with this little curly Q, little ponytail thing in the top. I don't know what that is. She looks horrible. She looks horrible. This is a horrible look. That is a 1. And then you have the other side of the spectrum, because her Witch Please look is a 5. This is a 5. She's going for Bloody Mary, these guts hanging from her, this, like, disgusting, like, distress hospital gown. She has bloody, disgusting gloves and blood on her hair. She really changed up her makeup. She made her teeth look all nasty. This is a 5. Like, that is incredible. And then we go back to this is like a 1. Maybe, I'll give it... Yeah, this is getting a 1. This is bad. This is fabric wrapped around her waist with, like, a little belt to make it look not as bad. And then just a little vest made of fur and a boa taped to it. And then she just accessorizes, like, the house because she's trying to make it look like she has more on. So she has a mustache on. No, oh my gosh, it's not a mustache. It's bones coming from her nose. It looks like a mustache. Her makeup looks nice. Her wig looks okay. And then, the bodysuit, again, it's not good. It's all wrinkled. She's getting a 1. So, Sugarcane gets a 7, which is the lowest score that anyone has gotten so far. Okay, Silky Nutmeg Ganache. No. This Trampy Trick-or-Treater look is horrific. It makes her legs... I don't know why the cut of these little pink cutouts on her legs are like that, because they make her legs look like they go down to, like, an inch wide and then back out to, like, her normal size feet. I mean, she's going for sexy unicorn, but no. I'm gonna give it a 1. No. It's not as bad as the troll. It's getting a 2. This is bad. And then this is the Wiz. I hate the hoop skirts where you can see there's obviously like a wire or something at the bottom, and it's just like, it moves weird. I do like that she went for like not typical witch, like she went for like a reference, but I had to be told this was The Wiz. I'd never seen The Wiz. I had no idea. She came out and I was like, what? I was like, is she going for Mary from Hocus Pocus? Someone should have done Mary and had a vacuum cleaner. That would have been great. The like weird shaped hair, that would be amazing. Anyway, back to Silky. She looks really nice, and like her makeup's gorgeous. Her body looks great. I'm gonna give it a 3. It's not blowing me away. I don't really... I guess it is witch. It's just like a very specific... one specific witch. I guess the dress isn't badly... I don't really like it. It's a 3. Here's my problem. I don't know what her monster is. She just made a red dress and then threw some stuff on. She threw on these devil horns and like blood coming down from her eyes. I don't think this dress makes her body look good. Like, I feel like Silky can really, like, cinch well and, like, make herself look very proportionate. She's not looking proportionized here. Maybe because it's latex, it's bringing all the attention onto her stomach because it's shining. I do like the bottom. I like how it kind of goes onto a mermaid gown, but nothing is giving me MILF. This is not a monster. This is just, like, some bitch on Halloween who decided to be extra. Why the horn? Those horns, she legitimately, I mean, she just has those horns and the skull and the chain to make it MILF, like to make it a monster. She had no concept outside of red dress and I'll put some blood on. So she's getting a 3 for this too. 2. I'm gonna give her a 2 because I don't really think it makes her look good. I don't think she looks nice in it. It doesn't fit the theme and there's no creativity at all. So yeah, she's getting a 2. So Silky gets a 7. Okay, now we have Angie. I feel like this is just like... Angie in this challenge is the definition of safe. Because she did the thing that everybody was going to think of, which was Victoria's Secret Angel. And I feel like this looks cheap. I feel like... And maybe that's the point, because it's Halloween. I don't know. I think if you're going to do Victoria's Secret Angel, you have to do it, like, crazy. You have to look incredible, because it is so overdone. And this just looks basic. I do love the crown on her head, and I think her wig, her makeup looks great. I like that the wings are, like, big, but they also look cheap as fuck. I'm going to give this a 3. I mean, it's not... I'm not going to give it a 2 because it's not bad. Like, there's nothing bad about this, but there's nothing good about it either. So, it is just base level, like, 3. Now, this Witch Please look, I'm going to give it 2 because I don't think it's all that nice. Like, I don't think it's a nice garment. I think you can tell it's just like a skirt, and she's just wearing a bodysuit underneath it. So I love the feather skirt, but I don't really like this bodysuit that is underneath it. It's not a witch. This is not witch. She has glam makeup on and a finger wave lace front and a black dress, and she said this is witch. This is a 2. Sorry, Angie, that's a 2. And then this MILF elegant, like what is... So I'm assuming she's like a zombie, and she is coming out of the grave, but like when she was coming out of the ground, it just like ended up on her head, and then there's like a crow that was already on the grave, and the crow's just like chilling. But then she's wearing a camo. Like, that's camo, right? No. Oh my god, I thought it was camo. Okay, so it's like green fabric with like a black mesh on top of it that she then ripped up. It's reading as camo. And then she just put some green paint on her chest. She put a spider on her face. This is lazy. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. This is lazy. Do I want to give it a 2 though? Is it worth a 2? I'm gonna go 3. So Vanjie gets 8 points out of 15. Okay, now we have Evie Oddly. So her trampy trick-or-treater. I'm just going to say I love everything Evie Oddly does. There's not a single thing that Evie Oddly could do that I would not like. But I'm going to try and look past my delusions of grandeur for Evie Oddly and give this a 3. Because while it is amazing, it's incredible, I love it, it's not giving me trick-or-treater costume. It's not giving me, like, something that someone would wear on Halloween. And it's not nicely made. This is a very cheap-looking garment. This is a very, very cheap-looking garment. But Evie Oddly sold this like it was $1,000. With the claws on her heels. She has little claws on her hands. And I love this look. Like, I love this look. And I love the way she sold it. but it's a 3. Okay, now her witch. And this is the most basic witch that still reads as witch. Like, she did nothing to expand on, like, the idea of witch. She just gave very basic, I'm a witch. But it is a witch. Like, some of these are basic and they don't look like witches either, like Angie or Ariel. This is at least giving witch. She has the white contacts. She has the white hair and the hat. I love the hat. I love the look. Honestly, this is a really nice dress. I just need something. I feel like a Ouija board, like put a planchette on your head, or like this needed like 1 or 2 things more. Like, so close to a 5 because I love the dress. I love the hair, the makeup, the hat. It just needed like a little something else to push it over the edge for me. It doesn't have it, so I'm gonna give it a 4. But I love the hair. I love the makeup. Oh my gosh, I do love this look. And then this is getting a 2. This is not good. And so she's supposed to be voodoo doll or something like that, but the garment is horribly made, and I'm not getting voodoo doll at all from the dress. I'm only getting it in the makeup. This is like Brooke, where like she just made a look and then she's like, oh fuck, I forgot about the monster part, so she just made like a voodoo doll makeup. This is bad. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 2. So Evie gets 9 out of 15 points. Okay, so now we have all of our final point values for all the queens. Here they are. For the bottom, they put Ariel in the bottom, and according to my data, she has the same amount of points as Evie did. So tell me how one queen can have, and yeah, this is just my opinion, but I feel like I was objective. I feel like I was really objective here. 9 points for Evie, 9 points for Ariel. Evie was in the top and Ariel went home. That's just funny. Ariel would have been safe. The bottom would have definitely been Suga, Silky, and Angie. Suga and Silky lip syncing. Suga would have went home. Angie would have just been low. Now for the winner, it's between Raja and Scarlet. And then to finish out the tops of the week, Brooke, Nina, and Plastique all have the same amount of points with 12. To me, the MILF look is the most important because it was made, and that's like the real challenge. It's like making the garment in the workroom in 2 days or 1 day or whatever. So of the 3, Plastique had the best MILF look. Nina's was fine. Brooke's was not good. Brooke's was her worst look of her 3. So I would have put Plastique in the top 3. I would have given the win to Raja for that same very reason. I think that Scarlet's MILF look, as much as I love it, I can see it's not the greatest thing ever made. Whereas Raja's is great. She made pants. I think she looks great. I would have given Raja the win here. Scarlet and Plastique would have been in the top. Everyone else would be safe except for Vanessa in the bottom 3, and then Suga and Silky lip syncing. Can we all agree on this? I know that's like style level and like taste is like objective, but I feel like I was really not going based off of my own opinion. Can we all agree Raja or Scarlet or Plastique should have won this challenge, and that Silky should have been lip syncing, and that Ariel should have been safe? It wasn't that bad. Her mermaid look wasn't that bad. It was more monster than the winner. She looked more like a monster than Brooke. And Brooke won the challenge, and Ariel was put in the bottom for not looking like a monster. I think that I cracked the case. I think I solved the case of who should have won the Monster Ball in Season 11 of Drag Race. Raja, O'Hara, Queen, Legend, Icon, Star. Can we all agree? Sound off below in the comments. What do you think? Would you have given it to Raja? Do you think that my scores were biased? Who would you put in the bottom 2? Who would you give the win? Who would you put in the top? Let me know what you think. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed hearing my annoying-ass voice. And subscribe if you want to see what cases of Drag Race mystery I'm going to solve in the future. It's been a long day solving who was robbed in the Monster Ball, so I'm going to go get my costume ready. I'm going to be George Michael, so I need to go get some booty shorts. Have a great day, guys.